What's up and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. We are going to hit the ground running with this one. The last match of the night. Fellow Chaco, welcome back. Send us through these map bans.
While wasting little time whatsoever, both these teams are itching to play. It's JJ & Co. versus 1HP Esports. Recently, JJ & Co., they announced their new pickup of Mr. B, who unfortunately lost in the SILCQ with his team. Loyalty is scarce. They also played in Element 4, had a flawless run all the way back in the Swift stage. So did JJ's team, funnily enough, formerly known as Fluffy Aimers, then just fully branding to JJ & Co. Funny enough, the sheriff in town officially. Both of them having great runs in Element, but both being the first two teams to actually be taken out of playoffs. It's really sad to see because these are some of the oldest players in T2, but now they're rocking it in Crucible, joining forces and now playing on Chalet, one of JJ's best maps. I don't have a lot of previous history on 1HP Esports, unfortunately, but they have got a gauntlet to go up against, so I'm really looking forward to see them play.
Yeah, I'm also excited to see JJ and Co play, just for the main reason of them having Mr. B on this roster. Of course, usually when you think of two IGLs being on a team, or the common consensus is that it's not going to go well because you have two IGLs constantly butting heads. But in history of Siege, like in Pro League and just in Pro League, if I can give like a really good example, there was Penta with Fabi and Pengu co-IGLing, and of course they won many 6 invitationals together and majors and Pro League finals. And then you also have with ITB going into the Manchester Major, they had Kendrew and Azra co-IGLing on that team too. So there's plenty of examples of success with co-IGLing, and in this case, JJ and Mr. B have similar IGLing styles where they like to emphasize supporting the players around them. So I'm excited to see how this all pans out, and I think that them going up against 1HP today, this should be really, to be fair, a JJ and Co game where they're allowed to test things out, because I think they should really be easily beating 1HP, if I'm being completely honest.
So it's JJ and Co, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, right? From Los Mangos and they're running the Manchester LCQ to the second best team in Swiss. This is obviously a gifted set of fraggers. So the adaptation, I don't know if they're going to need a lot here to take on 1HP, the team that has, of course, floated around that E3 scene. But I think that we are just about ready to send it in. I believe the lobby is full. Any last and final thoughts, fellow and Chuck?
I'm just really excited to see the both of these two, big brains coincide together. Some Pro League experience for both Mr. B and Snake. They can, of course, transfer that to their players who are already extremely talented. You've got Emilio and Re-Sided throughout the mid to late round, throughout Element 4. They were incredible at stopping executes, but we're not going to have to stop and stall for that much longer, my friends. I think the game is finally ready to go underway on one of JJ's most favorite maps, actually, it being Chalet. I think the only other one that could really top that is maybe Cafe, but I haven't seen JJ play on that map in a hot minute. But this map really can promote a lot of early aggressive attacks, specifically because of those cutoff angles you see all the time on this map. Office balk, library balk, highway. There's so many positions you can just push in from at the beginning of the map and already find kills just by sitting there.
First bans roll out, and it's a lot different than our previous games. So we had Blackbeard and Blitz, and while there is a shield that exists in the ban phase, fellow, we have just the Monty, and we saw clearly from Cruelty how effective the Monty was on Skyscraper. This is a different map, and I think for JJ and Co, it's an interesting ban from them, because JJ likes to play the Monty quite a bit when it is available, but you still have operators like the Blackbeard, the Blitz, and the Deimos up on Chalet. And for Deimos, I emphasize verticality on Skyscraper. The same applies here on Chalet.
Interested in seeing what site will end up going for here for JJ & Co. Looks like it'll be Bar and Games. Wondering if Vigil's going to maybe start the round early, going over by, like the solar side of the map, stopping some sort of, clear from 1HP. Maybe they want to get office control, utilize their nades if they bring any, or their ash charges to get that top blue shield destroyed, which is what you see almost every single time. Occasionally, there's going to be something like a dining lurk that could lead into a direct execute, but sometimes that'll backfire because, again, the top floor extension for most bomb sites on this map, actually, they are critical to clear as an attack because you can get a lot of valuable verticality whilst keeping that top floor control. So for 1HP, now they've changed their lineup a little bit. They've got ops like Capitao. They've got Lion who can run nades, Twitch in case they are running a Mira, but in this case, that's not going to be the case. They can still break the Fen mines and mute jammers, for example. They got a lot of utility that can help assist this top floor clear, so I imagine that's what they'll go for.
And I like the introduction of the Capitao for the top floor site. Well, not just for the top floor, sorry, but like for the site in general, that can be used to, again, clear out clear out the closet position, especially once you do get hatch control in library. And 1HP start off really well. It's an aggressive peek from JJ and Co that gets punished by gold, and that's the visual with the boss G down. Interesting.
Yeah, good start for 1HP. Resighted, have to maybe reeling himself in a little bit there, but Mr. B almost losing his life as well. That cutoff angle from trophy window you see countless times, and the Grim canister coming out as well. Luckily, they've got some info by West Main, so Mr. B knows that someone could be pushing him out from that staircase. I'd be calming for JJ to help assist him here, and it looks like 1HP are now backing off. They still want to kill Mr. B as they've got someone on the solar repel and trophy window, but somehow Mr. B gets away with it. 5 HP in a dream, not a single bullet landing on that second gunfight, and he now looks to maybe drop down the hatch, hoping to cause some more chaos later in the round. But there's gold, yet another one, creeping up the blue stairs. He spots JJ off guard, and he might have heard that hatch drop. Gold firing up a hell of a performance so far in round number 1, killing 3 players back to back to back on JJ and Co's team, and they still have a minute and 30 to work with as well, Chaka. They might just hit the go button, as Snake will at least find one for his team that could maybe slow down 1HP, but again, phenomenal start for the offense.
Yeah, and you know what? Like you said, they could hit the go button, but they're not going to do that. They're still waiting to clear out the rest of this top floor, understanding how important verticality is. And while Emilio does collect 1 HP still have the man advantage, but not for long. Emilio grabs a second from the library cubby, and a third! They just keep giving this guy ones!
What? Oh my god, Emilio. Just put on the big boy pants there. Beautiful shots landed. All right, everything I just said, hyping up 1HP in that round, just down the drain by one guy. I mean, that's someone who I highlighted in the pre-show, Chaka. It just ain't fair, man. It just ain't fair. One guy in a power spot, not cleared out correctly, will punish 4 individual members on 1HP to bring back that round. JJ and Co maybe having a little bit of a wake-up round there, realizing, hey, we can't be too hyper-aggressive. Let's maybe take things back a little bit and play as a team so we don't allow someone like Gold to find 3 separate one-for-one gunfights. But in that late round, it was just wow. I was so impressed with how Emilio kept his composure there in kill box despite all that chaos happening above.
It's crazy shots as well. Like, you don't see
right?
I can't tell you how many times I do see a shot from like library cubby into the sandwich window in the library, but I'm still amazed at how like clean that shot was. And it happened like right before the nade was thrown into cubby. So 1HP had a good opportunity with that nade if it actually completed its journey into cubby to completely clear the top floor player. But he just swung before the nade could even like be thrown. Like, that's crazy from Emilio, and he's had clutch plays like that before for JJ and Co, especially in playoffs in element 4, so not too surprising.
Oh, Snake getting a little aggressive here, and well, looks like they had 0 clue that the wall was opened up. Trophy cutoff established. Snake just out of care in the world. He's looking for more damage this round, but he at least will not find anything for the time being, so that's a slowdown here. Basically for free, a kill collected for JJ and Co. Now 1HP still trying to recover from that. They've lost a whole set of grenades. They're down to now just 1. And I guess they were going to try to hit the bomb site faster. Maybe Amaru up the hatch and then try to play for a plant inside of kitchen For example, using those ROU projectors to maybe cut off a line of sight. Oh, it's through the opposing bomb site. I haven't seen this in a long time. It's through dining room instead. Maybe spotting that the bomb site was kind of vacant. And that's going to force a retake post plant. Good cutoff angle for Gold. As he just hops in, he gives up that position, now hiding under the trophy stairs. This could be a great spot to play in here. Site recaptured for JJ and Co, but that open hatch dancing around the pressure that 1 HP might have. Flash going out, Gold responds off of it, good for a third. This guy's been so electric and it's only been 2 rounds. Mr. B, finally something to collect here for JJ and Co, but they've got the Capital bolts from down below. Could we see an ace from Gold? Finished off finally inside of Kitchen, and Mr. B will drop the hatch in desperation, but he's already out of time. 1 HP spotting the gap over in the bomb site, realizing that it's free real estate, and they take it, no questions asked.
It's mainly a hold over by Solarium and top floor. That was it. And like, despite having the vertical, if you don't really have the information to back it up for a direct site play like this, then there's no way to react off of it. And of course, even if they had a Warden in this lineup, you can't see through those RU projectors anymore because of the recent changes to Sin's gadgetry. So that was like a really nice gap spot from 1 HP to figure out that the dining site was clear, already having the Amaru prepped for the open hatch play, and they just fully committed to it. And I like the way that Gold's playing. He not only took trophy control after getting a really good cutoff kill, but he stayed there for the majority of the round and still had a position to play off from, just in case JJ and Co retook down into Solarium stairs or up West Main. And that's a really good position to play because they never knew about him.
10 seconds to insertion.
Well, hopefully JJ and Co don't fall for the same mistake twice of that Amaru play.
Put the camera.
Looks like 1 HP won't go for it. No sign of the RU projectors for the Sens. No sign of a crazy play over by the trophy window as of right now, but still a great cutoff to hold. Callie maybe being introduced to help deal with the castle barricades in this round. There's no shields in play, so a lot more flexibility with this explosive util by 1 HP. And of course the lances, in case there's any kind of wall denial, you can just shoot that out. If it's just a mute jammer, then the ace Selma can get it for free. But with Signature not spotting anything on the wall, I think that his teammate can just get open for free. It looked like Snake tried going for yet another run out, and this time it didn't net them the early entry. We're still in that 5-on-5. And it looks like 1 HP, yep, going for a much more default attack, getting library control early in the round, looking to get the main wall opened up, leading into offices. Then they can get the breach opened up into sight. And if they're able to clear out a majority of this roam extension, they could even flirt for that post plant. Given the fact they've got little to no vert ops, I don't know if they'll clear out the entirety of this roam extension or just go for cuts.
You still have a player down in basement, and I wonder, like, when is it going to be time for Snake's time to like strike or shine? At the moment though, 1 HP, like you mentioned, they get this mezzanine control and they just start to open up the office breach, and that allows them really good line of sights on this top floor hold that JJ and Co are inputting. And now it's time to then, since they do have this top floor open, maybe they open up the dining breach and give themselves an angle inside of sight. But at the moment they're kind of paused here, so I'm wondering if they're just going to go for a full site clear.
Oh, hop out from Emilio, perfectly timed. No Claymore to deny that either, so he gets back into the building. There's no trade, and Mr. B as well, collecting a kill for his own. Emilio springs up off the open breach, recited as well, shuts down stock. And that now leaves Signature up on the roof, 1 versus 5. Not many options left here in this round. Overall, great hold up above by JJ and Co, not allowing 1 HP to really set up. Once they got that open breach, they stopped the highway pressure from being an active threat, and they didn't really give 1 HP any time to reset either in this round as well. That leaves only Signature. He rotates over towards the office balcony, maybe looking to get some cheap shots in here, find some sort of kill while the rest of his team talks things through, maybe trying to figure out what they can do better for that bar attack, as that's the only bomb site that JJ and Co have won as of right now, but that looks to change after this 20-second marker elapses. Yep, Signature maybe just looking to hop into the building. Fenrir Mine goes off, and it's closed out flawlessly by JJ and Co. Good job playing out the utility there for the Fenrir, and that's now the advantage back in the favor of the defense.
Yeah, and I don't think really 1HP had many opportunities to progress throughout the top floor. In a previous round, they brought or in a couple rounds ago, they brought Grim out, and I think that would have helped them on the attack, especially considering that they were going for a full top floor clear, clearly not having any info on Piano, and I think because of that, it really made it harder for them to execute up top. And I also think another thing is the fact that while they were clearing the top floor, despite looking like they wanted to go for a full top floor clear, there was nobody on the double doors for Pianos. So that's just a free jump out and a kill into the Cali or into the Capital, who had no idea that somebody was just gonna jump out into Piano or jump out of the Piano window.
Well, like we had expected, we'll go back to Barn Games. I think the only major difference here now is that there's a Mira in play. Other than that, almost all the ops are the exact same for JJ and Co. There's that Grim reintroduction as well, so maybe that's just a thing that they prefer for this bomb site specifically. A lot of good spots you can clear out using those Grim canisters. You can clear out most of blue stairs without using a nade, although they have some if there is a shield for that top blue position. Another run out here from Snake. Looks like that's going to be his MO throughout this defensive half, looking for those free early picks, hoping that a less experienced team might just kind of stall themselves out, being too afraid to push off a man disadvantage. Can't really fault him for that, but it's going to work out. Just not for Snake, but resighted, remembering this is where Gold pushed from last time Bar was being attacked by them. And because that lack of change by 1HP and the lack of drone game in the early round, that's going to net a free kill for JJ and Co.
And that's also, the Twitch going down was their only way of dealing with the mirror windows up top, making this top floor clear a lot harder to do, and even just going for a direct side take, because I'm pretty sure they have the mirror window on the stock wall as well. At the moment, though, JJ and Co., they find a second kill, and that's the Grim up top. Again, that's going to make their up top clear that they're trying to do on the top floor a lot harder, because it gives you less information to work with when you can plant those Grim Bees in common spots like mezzanine or top library stairs. They're just kind of running out of manpower and utility by this point.
Well, now JJ and Co., feeling as confident as ever, they continue to up the ante against 1HP. Slash is gone now. They know somebody's out by this library double window, but it's a lion scan to try and slow down JJ and Co. They don't care. They just don't care. They run at you, guns blazing. That's a back-to-back flawless round now for JJ and Co. They had one hiccup back in round number 2 where they weren't prepared for that Amara rush, but after that, they have been fully in the driver's seat.
And they just continue to play aggressive siege, and that's really about it. At times, or in the first round, it was easily punishable by 1HP, because maybe JJ and Co just were caught off guard by where players like Gold were entering from. But then now that, again, there's that lack of change, there's that lack of adaptability, you can see JJ and Co's experience shine through. Now they're going to capitalize off of, them not droning ahead, because 1HP expect the space and basement to be clear because it was cleared the very first round. JJ and Co won't change anything, will they? Well, yeah, they did, and you kind of pay for it in the early round. And again, they just kind of lose so much in the early round. And I like how aggressive JJ and Co are playing, not only going for these spawn peaks, but also just in jumping out and just kind of playing the map of Chalet. Usually you would see teams that are good at Chalet really do is just go for these aggressive plays on defense.
5 seconds left before
Wine being played for the first time here. Looks like everyone on JJ Co is just looking to just bask in how well the aggression's paying out for them, really. Got a pretty hefty roam. Running Scopos here for any kind of roam is interesting, because you can use your secondary, person / drone or whatever the hell you want to call it, as a get out of jail free card. It's like playing on a fall off point for a staircase, right? Except now you don't have to go from point A to point B. You go from drone A to drone B. That's the big difference there. Just a press of a button and bam, you're out of harm's way. Sure, you sacrifice some utility, but in theory, you could waste a lot of time and still win a gunfight or two before you make that final commitment. That's why Resighted feels comfortable enough to play by himself on an area where you can usually get flushed out pretty easily without the help of your teammates. drone sailing past Recited now. That trophy cutoff established, and there's someone solar as well. But again, doesn't matter for Recited. He can just get out whenever he wants to, utilizing his main gadget. As 1HP are hoping that he just walks through the what? They just both swing?
Yikes.
That's a free double kill for 1HP. I mean, I like Mr. B trying to play off of contact there as well to at least confirm a trade, but it totally backfired.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think he had like a good position to like use the transportation ability for the Scopos, just because of the way that the stairs are set up, and it read as an X, so I don't really think he had like a good opportunity to back off. Anyways, 1HP don't really need any of the Capital utilities, so that's a really good, that's a really good plus for them, especially because they're attacking into wine. That'll help them clear out the pillar position, and
oh my god,
it'll make going for the site execute a lot easier.
Oh, that's brutal. Capcan trap.
Never mind. He died. Good.
Well, no more Capital utility. Second Logi bomb going off. I mean, they've got this nice cutoff angle they can maybe use, but he gives it up. Okay. Baby Signature looking to defend his teammate when he goes for the plant. I don't necessarily hate that. There's someone blue that Stock isn't able to detect because the smoke is in his face. Oh, okay. He needed to break the Cade Claw. That makes total sense. Okay. Maybe someone can rotate and hold that cutoff instead. I feel like that's a missed opportunity if no one ends up playing there. And yeah, Signature, given these last 40 seconds, he'll do exactly that. Good decision making there for 1HP in this 3 versus 3. And a nice shot landed by Stock as well. Dropping the hatch soon to follow. It's gold. Man of the hour for 1HP, but the Cade not dealt with in pillar. It's Mr. Sack himself. The Sheriff is in town as he's officially on the board. And Snake, it's the buddy ace with his teammate, the 2 gun kills and a Capcan trap for 3. It is a 4-1 half so far for JJ and Co. as they still continue to dominate.
I thought the early round went quite well for 1HP. They get rid of the Scopos and the Fenrir on the roam. They still have the Capital up, and then they lose the Capital. And what did I say? Like, the Capital is really good for clearing the pillar position. I don't even think 1HP knew JJ was there in the first place. But if they did, they could have held him off from retaking the pillar position. They would have had the man advantage, and then also they could have just planted on the barrels because they use the Capital elbow to prevent the swing. You have the main breach open with the Cali holding down the long angle all the way from Big Garage, and you also have the boiler wall open too. So if the person re-swings pillar, you can cut him off. But again, 1HP just never really had that information on JJ in the first place, so none of what I just said really mattered in the end.
Yeah, I really love, for this game specifically, a little unrelated, how we have JJ Ballsack and Stock and Balls. like, how rarely are you going to get that combination in one game? Almost never. I think I'm going to take a moment just to really appreciate the opportunity we've been given here, Chaka, to cast these Stock and Balls and JJ Ballsack at the same time. You got to love it. But JJ and Co., there's another one! Like, what the hell? Just stop peeking this guy. Take like a 20-second breather and just chill out. Don't leave the map. These guys will hunt you down in your own spawn. That's like a second or third entry, maybe a 4th entry attempt altogether.
He killed him?
For Snake. Yeah, he killed him. Line's dead.
What the hell?
This guy's stuck on camera duty. Yeah, he hopped out I think he either hopped out or he peeked the open wall from Snowmobile.
Yeah, he impacted it. Or no, he shot it open with the bailiff and then just like dashed out, I guess.
Yep.
Jesus.
And I mean, 1HP, they're just like, they're trying to pretend that nothing bad just happened there. They're gathering info. They're figuring out, okay, guys, how do we enter the building when JJ and Co is just running at us? I mean, they've had like no solution. Yeah, Gold just like, nah, screw that, dude. I'm getting out of there. I don't blame him though, because everyone in JJ and Co's been shooting.
Like, he gonna go to highway though? No, okay, he drops off. Almost immediately too, so for 1 HP, they lose some crucial utility, not only in the form of the nades, but also in the form of lion scans, keeping JJ and Co. like just still, because these guys do not know how to sit down somewhere. They've just been moving across the map, causing a lot of disruptions, and 1 HP have like no way of slowing them down, and the line was their only ticket to doing so. At the moment though, it's been a pause. JJ and Co have kind of like taken a little bit of a breather, but it does seem like now 1 HP are just kind of like getting some good drone work. it's not very clear where their execute is going to come from, but I think they're just going to go walk up West Main and see if they can find a kill on site or something.
Oh, this vert. Ever being dealt with by Highway, it's still a challenge to get through. Slash does notice the castle backed off, but it's to hold a different vert angle against Gold because they notice it's a West Main execute, and oh, unlucky timing there for Stock and Balls. Jake will kill him outright, and Slash rotating all the way from West Main, creeping up blue. Cue the sneaky snitch as he's trying to go for something quiet here. But I think JJ and Co, they're well aware it's not going to be a flawless round as Snake will lose the 1-for-1. But it's not looking likely here that Slash will find more than that one kill in compensation for his entire team to die just moments ago. Resighted, closing the gap. He'll put the lone Ash out of their misery. It's a 5-1 split for JJ and Co. I'm not too sure how well 1HP are going to now play on the defensive side, but at least they don't need to worry about runouts or spawn peaks, right?
You said that like you're unsure. JJ and Co are the ones attacking.
I really am. I don't know.
Sounds stressed. Honestly, though, like, I bet you 1HP were stressed throughout their whole attacking half because that was quite electric from JJ and Co throughout, like, the whole entirety of their defensive half. And it wasn't, like, it was just, like, basically that, like, just being aggressive and 1HP kind of, like, not having, like, the adaptability to, like, play against it. Like, at times they were just kind of, like, going through the same stuff. They ran their heads through brick walls. Like, you think back to that last attack, you still had the Capital up, and they were going for a West Main take. Why not smoke the vertical holes and then walk up and see if you can try and take an isolated gunfight onto the dining room player as you walk two players up there? They just never really adapted to their own take, and it just kind of like it felt like they kind of gave up in the middle of that round despite having like good utility to be able to take West Main.
Well, new half, maybe new look for 1HP. Again, we were kind of expecting JJ and Co, just given the resumes that these guys have, right? The repertoire of JJ and Co. We kind of expected they'd be the more likely team to win. You got a lot of pro league experience from Snake and Mr. B, you know, major experience from Snake specifically, being on one of the better North American teams for a long stint of time. Resighted and Emilio, extremely competent fraggers. I mean, their run in Element 4, those were like the two big players to look out for in the late round. If they were at any disadvantage, they would somehow bring it back by just holding power spots that were never dealt with properly. And JJ, a mind behind everything. He's even had games where he's popped off with a double-digit KD. He's had some action in this round too, and been great on the comms against spotting those gaps against 1HP, allowing his teammates to play so aggressively. Mr. B, not Mr. P, joining in on that as well. But it's actually 1HP to start things off in the right direction this time. That's Frost at least getting rid of Emilio. That's the top gunner now gone. But the Blackbeard persistent. They'll try to enter through. That's a second one now, and a C4 from down below by Signature. DM, incredible display in this round. And 1HP, okay, what a resurgence. Maybe JJ and Co getting a little too carried away in the second half, but regardless, 1HP are going to take that, no problem.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't really catch most of that. It just felt like JJ and Co...
that's okay. Okay.
It just felt like JJ and Co just kind of like entered into certain parts of the map like extremely isolated, and 1HP capitalized off of it, and that was just really about it. Despite having the Solarium window play with the Capital bolts on Solarium stairs, putting the Blackbeard in, players just kind of like went ahead of everyone else and didn't really like wait for the Solarium take as they tried to take up top floor. And I think that's an issue that JJ and Co have had previously, where the team just doesn't really play well together often. And that not only showed as of recently, it has shown as of recently in their game against Cruelty, where the team just generally just didn't look like they gelled together all that much. That was just one of those rounds where I think JJ and Co just wanted to try something, or they wanted to just go for gunfights because they have such a heavy lead. Either way, it's an easy round for 1HP to win.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not sweating it. They need 2 more rounds, and that's the map over.
Defuse a bomb.
Just got to be, again, a little more aware that 1HP, they've got some gunners. You know, again, Gold had like a 4K, and before that, previously, it was a 3K. Mentioned that by as well. Wouldn't be surprised if we still see some display of mechanics here by 1HP, but again, it's a very big hill to climb over. Uphill battle for 1HP. Still finalizing some of this extension up above. I don't think there's really anyone here to help the Mira besides, okay, Stock. Stock's over by Office. They got a nice little like crossfire thing going here, but yeah, Signature, if they push on the Office side of the map, he really can't help Stock. So the Mira's going to actually push up, seeing a lack of pressure by Highway, and maybe this could be a free entry for the Aruni. But Recited, waiting for his teammates before making that final call. He's going to give it a couple more seconds as they get ready to now clear out this side of Office and as well. The Deathmark tracker goes out. Recited pops in. Perfect timing for JJ and Co. as there was nothing there to assist the Aruni. No utility, no teammate. His Signature just backed off like without even telling them. And it's almost a second kill. Signature almost dying as well. Did they just give up the top floor? Like, real? Just kind of collapsing on 1 HP, both from the top floor clear and the horizontal lurk. Blackbeard just in sight. Gold is dead. His team is dead. And JJ and Co, they've got series point on the line.
And really, that whole round was just about 1 HP giving up ones or just like too much space and not really helping each other out. Like originally, like you highlighted, Signature was on a double door piano. And then for some reason, when you know that they're doing a take on the opposite side of the map, or maybe they didn't know, they just kind of like, everybody just like backs off. They give up top floor control. Even though you have Cubby, they don't really even try to hold it. There's nobody on the library stairs. So like there's nobody really holding off this impending attack, allowing the player in Cubby to be pinched, and he doesn't see it fit anymore to play top floor anymore. And it's no surprise that 1 HP decided to take that time out, because there was so many gaps in that round for JJ and Co to exploit that it was just so overwhelming to look at. And honestly, the Blackbeard at the end was just the cherry on top. Like, what the hell is that?
I don't know, my VMix was lagging. I just saw like Blackbeard literally just teleported Insight, and I was like, all right, well, I know what's gonna happen now. Crazy round for JJ and Co. That's typically why you have a shield if you're gonna play an Office like that, so you don't just get shot from bathroom / piano. Like, zero cover there. You've got the half wall, and that's it. So it was definitely really questionable why 1 HP wanted to go for that extension when you've got so many other power spots that can do almost the exact same thing. You've got top blue, you've got mezzanine. If they don't push library balk, which in that round, guess what? They didn't. You can play in library, fun fact. That's also a position you can hold. You can play kill box if you really want. A little risky if someone's on highway, but again, that wasn't the case. They just pushed in from Office and Piano and had a gap from Dining Hall. So 1 HP now on Master, gonna give it their all. They've got some roam presence down below, which I don't hate. There is a good potential of stopping a plant if it is to happen. A double spawn peek actually from main. You've got one on the fireplace double window up above by the Office balcony, and another one from fireplace double door itself. Neither one of them finding anybody though. Looks like JJ and Co just aren't willing to fight that, and I don't blame them. Now they've got a 5v5, and I mean, look at their comp, Chaka. They might just go site direct, honestly, with a blitz Blackbeard.
Oh my god.
Are they all gonna hop in highway window?
Yeah,
I see
like
the vision.
this is crazy, dude. And they might just do the same play that they did last time.
Oh, look, they're in!
Whoa, what the hell? Go in through the solarium window, send somebody in through bathroom, and they do that really well. Nice execute from JJ and Co on the top floor, and they get 2 kills for their trouble.
Oh my god, just ending the round, ending the series with a bang potentially, as they're up by 2. They've got site control. They just evicted 1 HP. They gave them a 30-second terms of condition notice and told them to get the hell out of my map. It's JJ and Co to take the series 7-2. It's hilarious, Chaka. We were talking about this behind the scenes with Whiskey, that we had 2 back-to-back 8 and 7 victories, and then proceeding to follow that up with 2 7-2 victories. I mean, what a night and day comparison.
Yeah, and I'm just, you know what? At first, the first couple rounds that happened, I thought maybe I underestimated 1HP quite a bit because Gold had some really good impact kills in that. In the first round, it didn't net them the round win, but it was still good enough for 1HP to then grab the second. You have some good individuals on 1HP. They just need they just need the adaptability and like the team cohesion in their next game in Crucible. Oh.
Yes. Yes to all 3 of those. You know, again, we went into this being like, you know, JJ and Co. a lot more experience compared to 1HP, right? We went into this map saying this is one of JJ and Co.'s best maps altogether as a team. And the way they played, definitely a lot more room for improvement. I'd love to see better use of info, for example, in the prep phase. That way they know where they're entering the building and who they might face. That way they don't just give up free 1-for-1s. Expecting that aggressive style of play. You're in T3, you're going to see crazy stuff like spawn peaks and runouts from someone who might be better than you, for example. Be prepared for the Blitz Blackbeard rush when both those operators when they're both on the board part. And I got a little stumbled up there, just still reliving some of those moments from the game. Definitely a big learning experience here from 1HP, and I hope they're able to kind of, you know, take this loss on the shoulder and just kind of bounce back for their next play game or play day.
I mean, it was like really quick. There's not like there's not really, I'm gonna be completely honest, like there's just not a lot I can really say about it. Good game from JJ and Co. We see the vision with JJ and Mr. B on the same team, and I'll just leave it at that.
You know, the Wizards, they just fell short going into the Element quals, obviously. I think they actually might have been in the regular Swiss stage and then didn't make playoffs. I've known a lot of those players for a long time. Glad to see Asian, glad to see Fens firing on all cylinders. They had a really good showing today, despite them losing at the very end against Core Gaming. They did have that 6-0 start on Skyscraper. And then Core Gaming, they had 2 back-to-back best of ones. You know, they have plenty of experience having those long matches going back to back to back, but just weren't able to win it out against Space Shoes. I loved how just chaotic they were on such a default map like Clubhouse. I hope they can keep up that action.
Yeah, I think the key word here is like adaptability, especially for the losing teams. It not only happened in the game that we just watched with 1HP struggling to adapt to JJ and Co.'s play style, which I don't understand, because like JJ and Co. are known for doing this. JJ likes to play aggressive. He will tell his players to literally die and don't be afraid of dying. Don't be afraid of losing. He'll literally tell his players that. That's how he likes the IGL, and that's how Mr. B likes the IGL too. It was the same case for Outlast, but not in a way that Cruelty were like playing like overly aggressive on Skyscraper. It was just a case of their attacks being extremely one-dimensional and them not working exterior pressure elsewhere, or never really rotating players on the other side of the map or even down below, especially on their defenses, to deal with any issues that they were facing. And so I think if you take anything away from tonight, at least from the last 2 games, it's going to be adaptability, because I think the losing teams just kind of really failed to really adapt to the other team.